Weakness of Iman, the symptoms and the causes. Iman is the most important of all affairs of a Muslim. The Sahaba and the rightly guided procedures of Islam, they were very concerned with the Iman and they cared for it. They knew the things that increases and strengthens Iman and those which decrease and weaken the Iman. So they exerted the effort in doing those things which increase and strengthen the Iman and avoided things that decreases the Iman. Every Muslim who is keen to save himself and gain happiness should do the same. He should care for his Iman more than anything else. Some of the symptoms of weakness of Iman includes frequently falling into wrong actions until sinning becomes a habit and a natural occurrence for one. Laziness in performing acts of worship, such as performing the Salah on time, not attending Salah al-Jama'ah in the mosque without a valid reason, delaying Hajj when one is financially capable, and not caring for missing the opportunity of the season of good, such as Ramadan and so on. Not performing acts of worship properly, for example, lack of khushu and lack of presence of the heart in Salah, not observing the adab of fasting, Hajj, etc. Easily becoming angry, annoyed and unforgiving, as well as continuously complaining about other people's behavior. Greed and miserliness. Rasulullah ﷺ said, greed and Iman never coexist in a person's heart. To say that which you do not do. Continuous breach of promises is a sign of hypocrisy which contradicts Iman. Allah SWT said in the Quran, O you who believe, why do you say that which you do not do? Grievously hateful is it in the sight of Allah that you say that which you do not do. To be indifferent and unconcerned about the affairs of Muslims and not to respond to their needs by dua, by sadaqah, etc. To rejoice in other Muslims' misfortunes, for example, to become happy when a Muslim experiences some failures or loss. Fear and panic when a disaster befalls one or when some problem arises. There are some of the obvious symptoms of weak of Iman. It is important that we know them and try to remove their causes. To complete this subject, we need to know the cause of the weakness of Iman. As you can see, some of the symptoms of the weakness of Iman are the same cause of the weakness of Iman. For example, committing sin continuously is a symptom of the weakness of Iman and at the same time leads to further weakness of Iman. Similarly, laziness in performing acts of worship, not performing acts of worship properly, greed and miserliness, i.e. stinginess, and saying that which you do not do are symptoms and causes of weakness of Iman. Other factors which cause weakness of Iman include staying away from the environment which enhances Iman. An obvious example is a person who stays away from the mosque and does not attend Jum'ah or Jama'ah, or a person who keeps away from other Muslims who remind him about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the deen of Al-Islam. Such a person may keep away from such good environment because he is busy with work or study, or because he thinks that in keeping away there is less trouble. Such loneliness may lead to one's heart becoming hard. Usually the relapse and retreat which happens to some people and makes them to turn to a life of corruption starts when they withdraw themselves from the atmosphere of the Iman, i.e. they stop hanging with righteous sisters and righteous brothers. Presence in an environment which is full of sins. This includes watching indecent films, TV programs at home. Such an environment weakens Iman and hardens the heart. This does not mean that Islam is against any form of entertainment. There is no harm in having some relaxation for the nafs, provided that the means of the entertainment is halal and that it does not waste one's time. Being excessively busy with life of this world, spending tremendous effort and time in pursuing it in the expense of one's deen and Iman, i.e. putting too much emphasis and too much effort on work, friendship, wasting time, instead of using and utilizing time to increase your Iman. This also includes one being busy with their property, wife and children. One should not be busy with these things to an extent that one forgets one's duty towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no harm in loving these things moderately within the limits of the Sharia. Overeating, oversleeping and being talkative. As for overeating, it causes numbness in the mind and heaviness in the body to perform acts of worship and gives added access to shaitan to the heart. Rasulullah ﷺ said, Shaitan flows in the son of Adam as the blood flows so tight his channels with hunger. Being talkative will cause a hardness of the heart. Rasulullah ﷺ said, do not indulge in long talks without remembering Allah, for much talk without remembrance of Allah hardens the heart. The person furthest from Allah is the one who has a hard heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who recognize the symptoms of weak Iman and rectify it to gain the highest of Iman. Amen.